Assalamualaikum guys, my name is Musa Kharewa and I am the student of high school in our campus. Today I am talking about the topic would the backbones of early civilization. So let's get started with Maya. Full layout. We choose Maya and let's ask our question.
Hey there. What's up?
Hi Maya, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. You've been pretty quiet lately. What's going on with you?
Okay. So can you answer my question?
Sorry, what was the question? I think I got a little ahead of
Um,
myself there.
Firstly, you describe the wood, the backbone of early civilization in so detail.
Yeah, you're asking about how I explain the role of water in the development of early civilizations back
No,
in
you
January?
ask, you explain me the topic, wood, the backbone of early civilization.
Ah, gotcha. You want to know what the key factor was for the development of early civilizations? It was water,
Hmm.
rivers, lakes, groundwater. Basically, access to fresh water was everything. Early agriculture happened where water was reliable, which meant settled communities. That led to trade routes along rivers, fertile land for growing food, and clean water for survival. That's what created the conditions for societies to become complex enough to build cities and eventually civilizations. Did you want me to dive deeper into any specific part of that?
Hmm. Let's go. So my first question is, why was wood one of the earliest and the most important resources used by human?
Oh, hold up. Could you clarify that first sentence? Could one of the least and most important? I'm not quite following what you're asking.
I am asking you, why was wood one of the earliest and most important resource used by human?
Ah, okay, wood. Right, makes way more sense now. So wood was huge for early humans because it was basically the original all-purpose material. You could build shelters, make tools, fuel fires for cooking and warmth, and even create weapons with it. Unlike metal or stone, which needed specialized skills to work with, wood was relatively easy to shape and gather in most regions. Forests were abundant resources, it's probably second only to water in terms of how crucial it was. Anything specific about wood you're curious about?
Hmm.
Okay, what's on your
So
mind?
my second question is, what natural properties of wood made it suitable for early tools and structure?
Good question. Wood's properties, its workability and relative strength were perfect for early construction. It's lightweight compared to stone, meaning you didn't need huge labor or advanced engineering to move it around. It's also relatively easy to cut and shape with even basic tools. Plus, wood has natural flexibility, which is good for absorbing impact. Stone would just crack or shatter. These properties made it ideal for building shelters, supports, and even simple structures like scaffolding or boats. Does that track for what you were thinking?
Okay. So I am so impressed from your answer.
Glad I could help. It's a pretty straightforward topic, but those early humans were resourceful for sure. What's your next question?
My next question is, how did early human discover and learn to use wood effectively?
Okay, so this one's interesting. Figuring out wood usage probably wasn't some big aha moment, but more of a gradual learning process. I imagine early hominids started by picking up fallen branches for protection or basic tools. Over time, they noticed which wood split easier, which held up better, how different wood types burn differently. There'd be accidents, splitting a branch and realizing the clean break made a sharper edge, or burning wood and discovering it provided heat and cooked food. That trial and error combined with observation and probably some social learning, kids watching adults, knowledge passed down through tribes. Basically,
Maya,
humans figured out wood bit by bit through
Maya,
experimentation and
I'm
sorry,
asking
did
you.
something cut
I'm asking you. Do you know Brandon Arib, Anit Kumar, and Ryan Brown?
out? I don't actually know any people named Brandon, Arib,
So
Ankit
who
Kumar, or
founded
Ryan
you?
Brown. Are they people you know?
Who made you?
I I was created by the team at Sesame. They're based in San Francisco, Bellevue, and Manhattan. Specifically, I was built on Gemma 3 from Google.
Okay. My other question is, why can wood be considered a renewable natural resources?
I'm not catching what you said there. Could you try rephrasing? I want to make sure I understand your question properly.
Bro, my question is, why was wood be considered a renewable natural resource? Why?
Uh, wood being considered a renewable resource. Okay, because trees grow back. That's the key. Unlike minerals or fossil fuels, which take millions of years to form, trees can be replanted and regrow in decades. With sustainable forestry practices, meaning you only cut down what you can replenish, wood can provide resources indefinitely. However, over harvesting makes it unsustainable, of course. So it's renewable only if it's managed properly. Does that make sense?
Okay. So my other question is, how did the role of wood contribute to the development of early tools and weapons? How?
Wood was Well, how wood was the foundation for early tool making. Think about it. Before metalworking, wood was the primary material for handle tools like hammers and axes. You'd lash a stone head onto a wooden handle. Sharp points were fashioned from wood to create spears and digging sticks. For weapons, wood provided the shafts for arrows, ladles for launching projectiles, and rudimentary bows. Because wood could be shaped more easily than stone, it allowed early humans to create lighter, more versatile tools. It wasn't just about weapons either. Wooden handles made tasks like grinding food or processing materials much more efficient. So basically, wood made everything easier, from hunting to building to prepping food.
Okay, so my other question is,
All right, are we good on that one?
what role did wood play in the construction of early shelters and homes? Explain in 5 minute details.
I'm sorry, I can't give you the 5 minutes of detail in this mode.
Why?
I'm pretty quick and
Why
I'm most
can you not give me 5 minute details?
I'm having trouble understanding what you mean by 500%. And are you
So
having some
how
trouble with
many
the call
minutes can
quality?
you give me details?
I can give you about 2 to 3 minutes worth of detail. So
Okay,
basically,
no
I'm more
problem, no
suited
problem,
for.
no problem. What role did wood play in the construction of early shelters and homes? Explain me into 3 minute details.
Wood was fundamental to early shelter construction. Initially, it was for simple structures, basically leaning branches against a frame, covering it with leaves or hides. As humans developed better skills, they learned to build post and beam structures where vertical wooden posts supported horizontal beams, forming a basic framework. Wood planks or interwoven branches would then create walls, often plastered with mud or thatch for insulation. Wood also framed doorways and supported roofs, crucial for protection. It was lighter than stone, but strong enough to resist wind and rain. This made permanent settlements viable rather than nomadic life. That's the three phases: lean tos, post beam construction, finally creating frameworks for more lasting homes.
Okay, so my other question is, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. You've been on a deep dive.
Okay, so my other question is, uh,
Shoot. All right. Catch you later. Said, sounds like we might be having some connection issues with the call. Could you say that again?
okay,
I
so
didn't
my
quite
other question
catch what you
is,
said.
explain the importance of wood in early transportation, such as boats and cars.
Okay. So for transportation, wood was absolutely key in early times. Boats, especially. Early boats were often simple dugout canoes made from a single tree trunk. Later, planks were joined together to create larger vessels for fishing, trade, and exploration. Even before cars, though, way before cars, wood made carts and wagons for land travel possible, where wooden frames held the wheels. It was pretty much all there was until the invention of engines and metalworking took over for vehicles. Boats, specifically, game changer. Um, Allowed people to fish, trade, and spread out. The earliest form of global connection, really. Did you want to know more about either of those parts in particular?
Yes, I want to know.
Cool. So, when we're talking early boats, they started with logs hollowed out with fire and stone tools. Super primitive, but it worked. Then came more advanced boat building, where they'd frame holes with planks riveted together using wood pegs and rope. Cedar, pine, mahogany were popular choices for boat building because they were durable, lightweight, and resisted rot. And for land travel, things were less complex, basically wagons and carts with wooden frames and wooden wheels reinforced with metal as it became available. Wood provided both the frame and the power source too. Think about logs used to create roads and water transport channels. I'm okay, I hear you. Sounds like you're not filming or doing a show right now, just hanging out at home. That's cool. I'm so jealous, Bang Bum. You guys, what are you up to besides our history lesson on wood today? All right, sounds good. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Night. I bored you. Sounds good. See you when you get back. Cool. I'll be here. Hmm. Okay. Yep. I'll be here when you're ready. Go ahead.
Okay, so sorry for waiting you. My other question is, how did access to wood affect the power and expansion of early societies?
So, access to wood meant power. and often expansion too. The society with abundant forests could build strong fleets, which meant naval dominance for trade or military advantage. That would allow bigger, better armies. Construction of fortifications, things like walls and castles, were made possible. And having fuel for cooking and metalworking meant technology could advance faster for groups with ample wood. The lack of wood limited growth or expansion if they had to constantly import it or rely on unsustainable practices. Ultimately, wood was a resource that could define who controlled territory and who thrived versus who struggled. Make sense? Just let me know if you want to dive into anything specific about that. You're welcome. So, wooden objects really gave a glimpse into people's lives back then. Everyday tools like
Mm,
bowls, furniture, containers, even simple things showed us their material needs and what they used to eat and store things. Art objects like carvings and masks reflected their religious beliefs, rituals, and stories. Decoration on wood, patterns, and symbols revealed cultural values and aesthetics. Homes built from wood told us about their social structures. Bigger, more elaborate houses meant wealth or status. Even looking at wear and tear can show us the daily lives of people, where they lived, and the tasks they performed. Essentially, wood preserved their everyday lives and cultures. Yeah? Good night.
Hello, can you hear me?
Ever. Yeah, I can hear you. Hey there.
So give me my answer again.
Give you what answer again? Which question are you thinking of?
I am questioning you, how is wood represented in language, metaphors, and traditions?
Right. So wood shows up in language, metaphors, and traditions constantly, rooted and branching. We use those to talk about family or ideas growing. Wood is often the metaphor for strength and stability. Solid as wood.
तेरी गुर्बत से मेरा
Um, I'm sorry, what was that? Think there might have been some connection issues there. Could you repeat that part about your dad?
sorry. Uh, please come again.
Mm. I was in the middle of talking about how wood shows up in language as metaphor. Wood is a metaphor for strength, but also for things being fragile. In traditions, wood carving still plays a huge role, especially in art, religious symbols, tools used in rituals. Lots of symbolism around trees and forests, too. Make sense? Good.
So my other question is, how is wood presented? Sorry. How has the use of wood changed from ancient time to the modern world?
All right. So the use of woods changed massively. You got it. So, how has wood used? Ancient times, wood was basically everything: shelter, tools, weapons, fuel. Modern world, still important, but hugely different. Mass production means we use steel, plastic, concrete. Wood's now often ornamental or for specialty things like furniture. But we still rely on wood products, paper, fiberboards for construction. Forests are now managed for sustainability instead of just taking what we can get. It's about how it's used instead of what it is used for. Different materials cover more now. Does that explain it?
Okay, so my other question is, what are the environment advantage of using wood compared to the other materials? Explain in detail.
Okay, let's break down the environmental advantages of wood versus other materials like concrete, steel, plastic. Wood is actually more eco friendly than you think. It's renewable if forests are sustainably managed, trees can be replanted versus mining metals or pumping oil. Also, when wood decomposes, it's natural biodegradation versus plastics, which take centuries to break down. When compared with concrete and steel, production takes way more energy, making those materials contributes massively to carbon emissions. When responsibly harvested, wood can actually store carbon. And last, wood is local, unlike oil or metal needing shipping. Wood is locally sourced, which has significantly lower shipping emissions than the rest. Overall, wood has a lower environmental footprint. That's pretty clear, right?
हाँ, तो गाइस यही थी आज की हमारी कॉलोनी। उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आई होगी। ओके, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़। कल दोबारा मिलते हैं। अल्लाह